Hey. This is Matt Bradley-Tschirgi. I'm taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. This collection isn't out yet, but we have a press release, or a blog entry rather, posted on the Sony blog. And the trailer dropped live during the Sony State of Play today, so I'll look at the trailer and I'll kind of give commentary on that. I love Ninja Turtles as a kid. I still do, even though I haven't seen a lot of the original cartoons, but I've seen all the movies and read some of the comics. The comics are quite a bit different. That's its own thing. So let's go on the reaction to this press release. I'll read it out loud and give commentary on it. From the PlayStation blog, this is by the senior producer at Konami, Charles Murakami. They're lean, they're green, and they're back with 13 classic arcade and console hits coming to PlayStation. So it says, "Hi everyone, we're glad to finally unveil the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. Ever since we started releasing collections, the response from our fans has been emphatic on what we should do next. Give us the Turtles." Together with Nickelodeon, who owns the rights to the Turtles, and Digital Eclipse, we're compiling one of the most comprehensive retro game collections ever. Yeah. So these retro game collections are very, very, very popular. And I should switch the screen. Whoops. There we go. Yay! These retro games collections are very, very popular. There's been a lot of them. That's why they keep coming out with them. Otherwise, you wouldn't see them that much. We started seeing retro collections a bit on PlayStation 2, a little bit towards the end there. You had the Activision anthology and stuff like that. But recently, in like PS4, Xbox One era, that stuff started exploding. So they're doing all this. It says release date is in 2022. It was clear from the start with the Cowabunga collection we needed the Western release of the 8 and 16-bit games. Their Japanese versions, oh, that's interesting, I didn't know that. And, of course, the TMNT arcade games. So it's 13 titles with the regional versions for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 in 2022. So this screenshot here is from the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. This looks like one of the likely banners, or not banners, but borders that's in the game. It's modeled after the artwork on the cover of the NES game. So it said, "We could tell right away that Digital Eclipse is a natural fit for this project." Excellent. Yeah, Digital Eclipse has done a lot of these retro compilations, and Konami's done a lot of these too, or at least, published these, right? You have the Castlevania one, you have the Castlevania Game Boy Advance one, you have this one, and so forth. Beyond their technical capabilities is a connection to the TMNT franchises. Together, we added modern quality of life features as well as compiling a load of extras fans will appreciate. Um, so I'm guessing it's going to be probably concept art, maybe some remixes of the music, combined with rewind and save anytime. Okay, that's important. So a lot of these older games are kind of hard. And if you want to undo, like you dying or something, you would hold down a button to rewind the gameplay footage, and you just would start, um, until you let go of the thing. You could like go back the whole screen if you wanted to, or just undo your fall into a deadly pit and do it again. Save anytime. Yeah, that's nice, especially for like that original Ninja Turtles NES game and some of the Game Boy, the third Game Boy game that's on there. And so they're designing custom game guide. Oh, this is pretty neat. We're designing custom game guides harkening to the aesthetic of video game magazines from the 80s and 90s to get players through some of those notoriously tricky parts. You know what we're talking about. Neat. So it'll have like these, not a whole hint guide, but looks like just for tricky parts of the game modeled after the 80s and 90s hint guide. So it's going to have probably like neon green, neon yellow lettering, a lot of triangles and circles, kind of abstract look, maybe intentionally poorly done illustrations. I think that could be sort of fun. Um, so let's continue reading this. Our partners at Nickelodeon provided amazing imagery from the original cartoon series and comic books and helped connect the franchise from different mediums. So that's interesting. So it's probably concept art from the 80s cartoon and some of the original comic stuff. I know, for example, the cover of the NES box art is a cover of, I think, issue number 6 of the comics, because they're all having the red bandanas and you're seeing lasers and stuff. It's pretty cool artwork. While bringing our heroes in a half shell back to the surface, we were immediately taken back to a time when we grabbed 3 other friends to save April from a burning building, struggled to swim through obstacles and prevent the dam from exploding, or discovered their secret areas where Casey Jones slammed Raphael into the ground. Um, I mean, the 3 other friends part, none of these were 4-player at home. In the arcade, it was 4-player, but they're trying to go for the 4 Ninja Turtles foursome thing. So instead of pumping an arcade machine full of quarters, the Cowabunga Collection's arcade games which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Turtles in Time. Let you and up to 3 friends have the arcade experience on your couch or online. Oh, okay. I wonder how long they're going to keep the online for. The 8-bit TMNT2, the arcade game TMNT3, Manhattan Project, and 16-bit TMNT4, Turtles in Time and Hyperstone Heist also have the local multiplayer fun of yesteryear. Yeah, local meaning you and your friend or your wife or partner or whomever are sitting on the couch playing Turtles together. To complete the collection, we included the handheld titles. To some, they're a deeper cut, but these handheld adventures had some of the best side-scrolling action on any platform. That's arguable, but the third one's really good. TMNT3 Radical Rescue and employs a gameplay style later popularized by Castlevania Symphony of the Night and sets players off as Michelangelo on an adventure to free his brothers. Each Ninja Turtle Michelangelo rescues brings new abilities and opens up more of the map to explore. The game truly ahead of its time. Yeah, that's fair. This here is a picture from, this is probably one of my favorites in this collection, Ninja Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project. Although this was a very late period NES game and you had a lot of flickering with all the different characters, it was a really creative implementation of the beat 'em up format. Okay, finally, the 3 one-on-one fighting games, Tournament Fighters. We dreamed of pitting our favorite characters against each other, and these games let our dreams come true. The two 16-bit games have been true classics with players mastering every move. But we had to include the last 8-bit game Konami ever released, considering one of the best fighting games on that console and one that had been overlooked over the years. We couldn't wait to give this game the attention it deserves. Yeah, so Tournament Fighters was Ninja Turtles, and Konami rather, ripping off Street Fighter. Good animation. The one on NES has some unique game mechanics. I think some of them are used in fighting tournaments to this day. I can't say I knew friends that those games were only rental at best. I didn't know anyone that owned these ones. 30 years is a long to hang on. Oh, that's a typo. It should be is a long time to hang on for a collection of these masterpieces. We hope you'll find that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Cowabunga collection has been worth the wait. And then it has a link only for the last 3 letters. That's another mistake on this blog, but there you go. It's and we can see it's looped into the state of play thing Sony does whenever the hell they feel like it, usually once every month or two, promoting the upcoming games. So now that we've seen that, we're going to switch over and do my reactions to the video trailer itself. Exciting. So I'm going to make that disappear. And, ooh, see that? Yep, the video. So I'm going to play the video and I'll pause it whenever I have something to say, which will probably be a lot. So I'm just going to move some stuff here. That's much better. Okay, that works. So I'm going to rewind this and let's go. Rated T for fantasy violence, mild blood, and mild suggestive themes. That's because of the Tournament Fighters on 16-bit. There is some blood on the system, but I mean, it's pretty on those games, but it's pretty minor. I mean, frankly, that could have been a KA, and I don't know. I wouldn't call that, worthy of a T in my opinion. So here we get super pixelated overlay of a recreation of the beginning of the Ninja Turtles theme song as presented in the original arcade game. The Cowabunga collection loved those colors in the background, which is the colors of when you select the Turtles in Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. It's a neat use of, 3D animation with that transition. You're going through the sewers and down the manhole, as you see the ladder up there. That's kind of above you, right? It says captured on PS5. I can't imagine what the difference is if this on PS5 or PS4. Maybe the resolution's a bit better. Okay, so the first thing they show, this is pretty interesting, is a pretty cult title, kind of later in the Game Boy's life. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I don't have they'll have the title later. It's something like Michelangelo's Rescue or Rescuing the Turtles or something like that. But as they mentioned, you go through like a maze-like fortress with different bosses, different turtles have different abilities. You can unlock different areas. This is like a pretty meaty game, and not like the other Ninja Turtles games on the Game Boy. Yeah, so this is the NES version of the arcade game. I played this so much as a kid I could beat it without continuing, and I remember especially this game being useful when I had some surgery as a kid. and I was in the hospital for a few days, and so we had this. I had my mom bring this game from home so I could play it on the Nintendo that was at the hospital sometimes, and that was a fun way to pass the time and ignore the pain that was in my back. This is from the arcade version of I'm guessing it's Turtles in Time because of the surfboard stuff. Yeah, and you can tell because the sprites are a bit bigger than the home versions. More of the Turtles arcade game. This looks like to be the second, the original one, just called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It takes place mainly like in a city, but Turtles in Time really has better, more creativity with the names, kind of like Ninja Turtles meets Quantum Leap. First, yeah, the infamous first level of Ninja Turtles 4, the arcade game. You can see four people playing at once. Also, you see Crane and his super form in the background shooting lasers. You have to dodge those. You have to fight the foot soldiers. A lot of stuff moving on the screen at the same time. Again, the Ninja Turtle Michelangelo rescue game. You can see there's bats. You can see there's ladders. You can see there's platforming and jumps. I mean, in a way, this one plays. Although it controls better, it's more similar to like that first Ninja Turtles NES game, which I think they show at this trailer. Again, this is that original Ninja Turtles arcade game. I think where I pause it here, you can see the graphics flickering. This is something that happened in the original. This is Ninja Turtles 3, the Manhattan Heist on NES. All the characters have special moves, which is pretty cool. And Michelangelo does this kind of handstand kick thing. It's really difficult to aim, but it can hit a lot of characters at once. This game in particular, I remember being quite hard. Get a slice of the action. And what do we have here? We have the Tournament Fighters. This is the Super Nintendo version, I believe. I haven't really played much of the Genesis one, but you can see it has a lot of action on there going on. That's this level's nice with the background. You see, I'm not sure who the bad guy he's fighting, but you have the Japanese thing going on with that the famous wave painting by Tsukio, I believe, Tsukio E, something like that, and the geisha girls and the spring flowers in Japan, very pretty. Fighting sharks again. So in this game, a lot of the characters are from the Archie comics, which has characters that weren't necessarily in the cartoon. Yeah, the video, the one I'm looking at is a bit blockier than the one that's online, but this is from the first Ninja Turtles game in the arcade again, and you're fighting Baxter Stockman and his Mousers in the sewer pretty early on in the game. One shell of a time, gotta have bad jokes in there, right? It's the Ninja Turtles. So this is Ninja Turtles Manhattan Project. This thing I paused right here. This is the third and last of the NES trilogy. Well, not the last because they have the Tournament Fighters, but of the beat 'em up stuff, this one is the last numbered title at least. And he's jump kicking Razor from the at the time recently released Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze. So they put characters from that as bosses in this game, although the plot has nothing to do with it. And of course, you have these sections on conveyor belts with lasers and foot soldiers, a lot of cheap deaths and so forth. But fun animation on that electrocuted turtle. Turtles in Time. I made a mistake before. I thought I was looking at the arcade version, and the way you can tell is the difference. If it just says 1 and 2 at the top, it's the SNES version or the Genesis one. Otherwise, the Genesis one's called Hyperstone Heist. I think they show that briefly later. Otherwise, if it says 1, 2, 3, 4, that's how you know it's the arcade version. Again, pretty close to the arcade, but the sprites are a good bit smaller. And it chugs a little bit at times, too. This was one of the first games I got for the SNES, and I beat it within a day. My parents got mad at me, so yay. Tournament Fighters. This looks like the Genesis version because of the more limited colors. This had some different characters you could play against, as opposed to the SNES one, and it might have a different story mode as well. I'm not really familiar with the Genesis version of Tournament Fighters. This one has April O'Neil on the Genesis. It's not in the SNES version. The infamous NES Ninja Turtles, one of the hardest games on the system, in my opinion. People say it's not that hard, but it's, especially with the audience at who it's aimed at, it was just brutal in its difficulty. Everyone I knew had this game. No one I knew really liked it that much. My friend Zach beat this in high school, but only with like using a lot of save states and stuff like that. Tournament Fighters on the NES. Yeah, this was referenced in the PlayStation blog article, and you don't have the weapons in the turtles. They just, do punches and kicks and things. And but you fight against Casey Jones. You fight against this dragon guy that's in the box who looks cool. You can see the turtles are different colors too to kind of make them stand out a bit more. So like Raph is blue with the rat. I think that's kind of striking looking actually, and he's fighting against Hot Peg the dragon. And if you get those little balls there, right, you get to see some. You get like a special fireball attack for a limited time or something along those lines. Turtles in Time. This is the arcade version. And now, like, we're going past some of the box art. So back there, behind it, it was showing Follow the Foot Clan and Back Out of the Sewers. That's the first two Game Boy games. Those are, you're beating up foot soldiers and stuff, but you just move strictly left to right. Nice big sprites, pretty easy games, except for some of the bosses. It gets kind of cramped on that small screen. Tournament Fighters, that's the cover to the NES game. Manhattan Project, yeah, is the NES one that's, just really solid beat 'em up. Ninja Turtles 3, Radical Rescue. I got that title way off. I don't know why it doesn't show Michelangelo on there, because he's the main guy you play as, starting from the beginning, but there you go. 2, the arcade game, is the NES port of the arcade game with 2 extra levels, where you fight like a samurai guy and some polar bear dude. Ninja Turtles, that cover with the Mullen Red, I was talking about that earlier. This is the NES game that you have like an overworld that you go and you're trying to rescue Splinter and April O'Neil. And aside from like the first world, it gets pretty difficult with an infamous stage where you're swimming, trying to undo these bombs going off your dam. Tournament Fighters, that's the NES box. Hyperstone Heist, Turtles in Time, and another Tournament Fighters box. It doesn't show all 13. I'm not quite sure why, but it gets you a title. And keep in mind, it says 13 games, but a lot of these are the same game for different systems. But because of how they did things back then, these games aren't exactly the same between the systems. So your mileage may vary. I wonder what the price on this is going to be. You can pre-order it, or wish list it rather, but I have not seen a price for this yet. If I was putting a price on this, I'd say $20, $25 is fair. 15 would be great. But with 10 games on there, they shouldn't do 40. I think that'd be too high. 60 or 50 would be way too high. It depends how much they want to milk the nostalgia, right? They should have it come with the Pizza Hut coupon, because some of the old Nintendo games had those. Cowabunga Collection, yeah, great. Great title for this thing. They say Cowabunga and all this stuff when you start a game. Coming 2022. Yep, to PS5, PS4. Online, there's other versions of this trailer that were not played during the Sony thing that mentioned Switch and other systems. So I'm curious who will get what first. A lot of these have been coming to Steam, which is interesting. So yeah, I'm excited for this Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. I'll happily report what news I can find on this, and maybe try to do some interviews or something. I think this is a good new beat to cover since I finished doing the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster stuff over the past year. Maybe this year will be Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. Depends how early it comes out. Okay, anyway, I'm Matt. Hope you enjoyed watching. Be sure to follow me on twitch.tv/matwbt. And also go to youtube.com/sequelcast and subscribe to me on there as well. Thanks so much. I'll catch you later. Bye.